Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to understand today contest problem in the daily series. This is a valid Sudoku. Okay, question number 36 is saying valid Sudoku. So what we have given here, we have given a partially filled Sudoku. Let me show you how, like this. Okay, so this is a partially filled Sudoku, as you can see here, right? A grid type, or you can say a board, right? So we can say this is a Sudoku board. Okay, and here we have the elements 9 cross 9 elements we have. Okay, and means 9 rows is there and 9 columns is there, right? So we need to check if this Sudoku board is valid, right? So far like this that we have given. Okay, so how we are going to find, right? Very first, a valid Sudoku means, right, a valid Sudoku board means what? The each row and each column, right? I'm saying each row like this, right? We have, these are the rows we have, right? And these are the columns we have. Each rows, each row and each columns, right? uh, it should must contain, you can say, 1 to 9 elements, right? Means each row or in the each column, it should have 1 to 9 elements, right? Without any repetition. Understand? And let's suppose if we'll take each 3 cross 3 sub box. Let's suppose 5, 3 and this empty one we can say. So if you see, this become 3 cross 3 one, right? Let me show you how. So I'm saying if we take the 3 cross 3, so this is the 3 cross 3 elements, right? Like this we have 3 cross 3 elements, right? Like that we have to choose. So this is called 3 cross 3 sub box in the what? In the given board, Sudoku board. These are 3 cross 3 board. So how many board will become? How many sub boxes will become, right? 3 cross 3, if we'll take total, 9 sub boxes will become, right? As you can see, 3 here, 3 here and 3 here, total is 9 sub boxes, right? So 9 sub boxes contains also what? 1 to 9 elements without repetition. Either we talk about all these rows or columns, right? There should be 1 to 9 elements without any repetition. No repetition, we can say, no repetition. Okay, so the board may be filled with what? Some cells value. As you can see, we have some value, we have somewhere we will also see the dots we have given, right? Means that is empty. So if there is dot, means empty. But till now, if still it's empty, we can say this is a valid so far, right? So you have to think a Sudoku, a level of we can say 3 level of checks, right? Very first, the level should be on the row check. So we have to go for all the rows that we have given. You can see, right? These rows should be checked. We know that this is row 0, we'll say row 1, like that we can say. In the row 0, we have all these elements. So we have to check all these elements should contains from 1 to 9 without repetition. Okay, so very first, in the first row, what we are seeing is we have 5 we have, 3 we have, and then another element is 7 we have, and rest of the elements are coming dots, right? So we can say 5, 3 and 7 are unique elements. So till now there is no duplicate, so it's valid, right? Similarly, we'll go for other elements. Let's suppose now this time we are going for the column. So we'll say check, okay, 5, 6, then we have dot, we have 8, 4, 7, and the dot dot dot. So we can say these elements are unique, right? And so no duplicate found, so it's also valid. Okay, so when we When we talk about the rows and columns, so similarly we have to check for all the columns and all the rows. So row checks and the column checks, if contains no duplicate, means it's a valid. We should also check if we divide this into 3 cross 3, right? So we have to take 3 cross 3 box checks, we can say, where the board is divided into 9 boxes, we can say, right? And all those 9 boxes, it should be like this. Let's suppose I'll starting if I'll take, if we'll take like this, can we say the very first is 0 0, then we have 0 1, then we have 0 2, right, like this. And then we will take 1 0 1 1 1 2 and 0 1 and 2 2, right? Like that we have to take other cells like this also, right? Total 9 cells will be there. Okay, so if you talk about the top one, very first this one, so we have what we will see here. We'll say 5 3 and 6, right? Very first we'll say, okay, there's no elements contain duplicate, and so the very first is valid. Okay, so the approach will be very simple, right? We just need to check the duplicates. Either we are going in the row, so very first check should be what? The very first check should be, so each row we have to check, right? So we need to check the duplicates, right? You can say dup check. We'll implement a dup check, and very first we'll check into the row. Then what we should do? Similarly, we'll check in the column, each column, and then in 3 cross 3 box we have to check. So each 3 cross 3 box we have to check. If any duplicates is coming, it will come invalid. Otherwise, if the three condition working fine, means it's a valid one. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Let's try to make the code. Very first, what you have given, board we have given. Okay, so if this board we have given, what we need to do, let's suppose if we have something to track, like a which state set we can take, right? And we can check that this number has been seen or not, right? So how we are going to do, let's say I'll take a set, right? And this set you can take a string also or boolean also. Okay, it depends on you what you want to take. Okay, I'll call it visited or visited cell value, visited value. Okay, okay, let's take a new, and we'll say, understand, very simple. Then what we need to do, to iterate over the cell, we know that this is a 9 cross 9 board. Will int I equal to, start from 0 and we'll go till last element, and I plus plus, right? 9 cross 9 cells we have, right? uh, Elements we have. Then we'll take for the loop in a 0 is also less than 9 plus plus will take, right? Then we can iterate over the board, right? Let's suppose I want to check the value. What is the value we have, right, at the cell, right? So that we have given is board, and we can say board at I and j. We'll start from the 0 0 cell, very first cell, and we'll get the value. Let's suppose I want to check on the 0 0. We can say val should not be equal to the dot, it should not be empty. If it is not empty, then what we need to do, we need to pass, we need to check, actually we need to check in the row columns, right? We'll check in the check. The first check was what? A row check. Yeah, row check. We'll say let's check the row, right? and it's no duplicate should be, no loop should be there. Okay, and the condition will say if we have visited this value or not, or we can say scene. It's good to write the scene, right? Give this name as a scene. Okay, this value has been not been seen, right? If it's not seen means if we'll add here, right? Let's suppose we are going to add the value. If we are going to add the value, we'll say this is not seen, okay, in the row. That will be our key. Okay, then we'll return here as a false if it is not there. Return false. Okay, so there is one problem. If we add this value in the column, right, directly, or we are checking row, right, so this value may be in the column, right? So we have to make in such a way the key should be unique. Okay, that is why we have taken the string here. Okay, so to make the value, because this is integer value, I want to add something unique, right? That we can say this value will be unique. Let me tell you how. So let's suppose this 5 we already have, we are going to check in this loop, right? So let's suppose this 5 we have already in this row. Okay, but somewhere if we are coming here, right, we are not seeing, means that is fine. But if you observe here, we are seeing the fine. So if this 5 is already in the set, right, when we are going to check this column or this row, either of these, we'll find the 5 again. So this is differential. We can put here, it's fine. But as per the code, if we have already in the set, right, set already contain 5. But again, second time we're going to add here. What will happen? It will find there. In scene will say, oh no, you cannot add. This is duplicate value. So to get rid of that means we should be fine if it is on the different cell, right? In the different row and in the different column, right? For that, what we will do when we are going to add this value, right? We can add, okay, this is I'm saying on the row, which row? We'll say row 0, right? Because we are going to add. So 5 is in where? We can say 5 is in row. We'll give the row name, right? And row value will be 0. Similarly, we'll get here. Okay, so we'll say, okay, 5 in the row. This is at some row. Let's suppose 5. Okay, so this will be unique, right? Complete string is there. This is a key and it will be unique. When we going to add this one, it will be unique. When we are going to add this one, it will be unique. Like that we will do here also. Okay. Okay. So how we are going to do? It's very simple. The value, as I told you, I'll say, uh, let's add a string value and we'll say value in row. Value in row. I will give the row number. You can say row number is what we have I. So if it is not there, it will add. If it is there, will return false. Okay, and will say it's invalid. Understand? Because this is returns false means it's invalid. Okay, I hope you understand. Similarly, we can check for the columns. Okay, just copy this value, guys. Value. Okay. Now check for the column. Okay, here we have to write the call, right, for column name is fine. We can write what? Okay. Understand? Then because on the same row, if I and j are same, means we are talking about the same uh, same row same column, right? In that case also it should not be same. Okay, now we have another condition where we'll check in the 3 cross 3 box. Okay, so let's check in 3 cross 3 sub box. Can we say that? Similarly, we'll write the code. Let me write like that. It will be very simple. So we know that if we'll add in the row and column, right? We'll say I by 3, right? We have to add. And if we want to segregate the value, right? That we can add some underscore value, right? And then we'll say plus, we can say j by 3, right? Like that. So we can get for the submatrices also. And finally, once this loop is completed, right? At last here, we should return everything going good. We'll return means all the cells. Either we are going for the all the cells contains what unique values, right? And it's good. Okay, yeah. So we are able to pass all the test cases. Okay, the code is also working fine. Okay, so that's all I have in this case. Let me know in the comment section that you understood or not. If you have any doubt, please ping with the comment box and us in the comment section. Okay, let's talk about the complexity. What will be the complexity? Think we are taking what two loop. So very first we have two loop. We have this loop and this loop. Okay, but other than these two loop, what are the condition we are checking? Right, very first we are checking the row condition that takes O of one time. This condition will take O of one time. This will also take O of one time, right? So all these either in the row check, column check, and the box check, right? It is taking O of one time, right? But in the case of adding these insertions, right? Either you are checking the insert or check, right? In the set, this is a set. The set always takes the average insertion is O of one time. Okay, so you should be understood that what assets checks will take, right? So the insertion either you are adding or checking, right? It will take O of one time on average. Okay, and other than these checks it will take O of one time. Okay, so total in the case of we have is let's call it's so many numbers will be there, right? So let's call we have n cross n matrix we have. If I'll take, let's suppose we have now how many ticks we can take? 9 we have. 9 into 9 is how many? Let's call is 81, right? So if 81 will say, if we'll multiply by O of 1, right, it will give you O of 1, right? Because it's a constant time since board has a fixed size, right? And this is what we can say generalize this problem will give you n cross n matrix Sudoku also all the time, right? Because it's saying 9 cross 9 matrix we have, right? But the complexity thing we are getting is one O of 1, but as we know, the time complexity would be O of n square, right? In the case of Sudoku. Okay, so for now we'll take n cross n, so we'll go for the time complexity and we'll say O of 1 time. It's constant time because board is fixed. This is not O of n square. Make sure that you're not saying O of n square. You will be saying that it takes O of 1 time. Very important that that is why I'm talking here. Okay, otherwise I'll not talk much about the complexity. I will say, guys, ping me the comment box what is the complexity. Okay, similarly think about the space complexity, right? If we talk about the space complexity, right, so we are using hasset here, right? And the hasset to store all the elements like this we have, right? So we know that each row we can say we have a, we can say very first simple thing, we have 9 cross 9 value we have. So we have 9 digit into 9 digit into where, in the 9 rows. So we can say 9 digit into 9 rows means total 81 entries will be in the row, 81 into the column. And now talk about the this one, what you call box. So how many boxes is there? 9 boxes is there. 9 boxes contains how many elements? It will contain 9 digits, right? So it will also take 81. So total if we'll take 81 plus 81 plus 81, how many entries will be there? 243 entries. So if we'll talk about the 243, this is a constant number. So this is a constant number, and so it will say, oh, the space complexity will also take what? O of one time. Okay, because it's constant. If it is constant, it is also taking off one time, because this is what we have given. But if we talk about the n cross n uh, Sudoku, right, that will take O of n square. It should contain O of n square. But in our case, these things are given and it is a constant. So always think about what we have given. If the things are given and you are getting the constant, it should be O of one time. So either in this case is we are taking the time complexity, guys, it will take O of one time. But it would be O of n square in the case if it is not a constant given. Okay? So that's all I have in this video. Let me know in the comment section that you understood or not. And I hope you will enjoy this video. Bye bye. I'll see you tomorrow.